Hey everybody, Shiny Sephiroth here, and I am so excited that we're going to dive into what I talked about in a previous video, the double Detolf that I have in my DC Comics display. And that's a bit of a misnomer. I have two double Detolfs, but we'll tackle the first one. And let's go through the list of everybody we're going to see joining our ranks here. First of all, we have the Platinum Geoforce, the Normal Geoforce, Jonah Hex, non-Platinum. This version of Swamp Thing, JLA Aquaman, Return of Superman, Wonder Woman from the 52, Silver Age Wonder Woman, Midnighter, Black Lightning, Firestorm, Silver Age Aquaman, Bronze Age Green Arrow, Silver Age Hawkman, Argent Rock, Silver Age Atom, Platinum Huntress, Question, both versions of Lightning Lad, Captain Thunder, Nightmaster, Platinum Guy Gardner as the Warrior, 0 Hour Hawkman, Ambush Bug, Non-Platinum Ragman, Red Sun Wonder Woman, a Platinum and Non-Platinum Captain Carrot, Kingdom Come Wonder Woman, Rebirth Cyborg, New 52 Ragman, the Platinum and Non-Platinum versions of Mr. Terrific and Firestorm for New 52, Non-Platinum Huntress, Future Zen Booster Gold, and New 52 Captain Atom. Icon, one of DC Shazam. So really excited to dive in. Let's do that right now. Let's go really quick to see what it's looking like now and what it's going to look like. Here is my Silver Age and Bronze Age displays that need to be fixed up. A lot of empty space here that needs to be filled. And then we have the 90s Justice League display and everything after the 2000s, like from 2000 to New 52. And so, yeah, so that's what that Justice League back there would represent. Then for this display here, I have various DC gods and demigods. So you see Pandora over here, the Monitor, the Dr. Manhattan infused Wally West, the Hal Jordan Spectre, the Death Metal God, Golden Wonder Woman, the Duke Thomas from the Dark Multiverse who ascended to godhood. So we have these guys over here. And then the rest of this are armored variants of our various heroes. So this is kind of like my armored display. And then in the front, what I had envisioned was then putting up the Justice League Incarnate in front. I'm honestly not feeling this display, armored and then gods and Justice League Incarnate. It's just something off. I'm gonna be taking some time to figure out what the heck to do here. Next display is part of my multiverse display based off of this comic here, Multiversity. And I try to put everything, and when you see the whole display in order, you'll see how everything's in order. But I try to put all of these characters in order of the Earth they show up in Multiversity. So you got these guys over here, and then these, and how they all fallen. And then the final display, right here on the right-hand side, are my Justice League Dark characters, who they were actually standing before I opened up the door to my Detolf. Man-Bat fell over and knocked everybody over, so... And then I have these over here. These are kind of like my Island of Misfit toys, pun intended. So we have basically a whole bunch of live action CW and Snyderverse people that are here. Honestly, I don't really have a space for them, and I had them here for a while, but I think I'm going to move them as well. So it should be a lot of migration. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into the first section of this update. So we talked a little bit in the last video about the Smallville and CW verse, and I have greatly expanded on it and reorganized things. So like I mentioned earlier, this is a combined Detolf. I wanted to have no break between one Detolf and the other. So I cut a little bit off of two different Detolfs and I put them together. So we have this right here. I used a saw and a whole bunch of other items to get this to work. And there's right there, you can see that those were screwed in. Those, oh, I gotta focus in on it. See that plate right there? Whoop, right there. To keep them together. And it works out really well. I'm really happy with it. So, but let's go to the main event. I did something similar with my Batman costumes and different Batman incarnations with Arrow. And so we have the Lian Yu, the season 2 through 3, the season 4, and the season 5 through 7 suits. Then right here you see the season 8 suit, the final season before he became... spoiler alert for those who haven't seen the Arrowverse and are wanting to. Go ahead and jump to this timestamp if you don't want to get spoiled on the ending for the Arrowverse. He becomes their universe's version of the Spectre. And the funny thing is, when the show was airing, I turned to my wife when they were saying, "Oh, this is going to be Crisis on Infinite Earths and everything, and Stephen Amell's likely to leave the show." I said, "You know what? Just with interviews and just the vibe I get from him, they're most likely going to have him not legitimately die, but probably get written off as the god of the CW verse. So even after he leaves, it could still say he's pulling all the strings. That's just something that I feel like would be in his contract." And lo and behold, it happened. And I was bowing, and my wife said, "Yeah, you called it. You called it." But anyway, and then I also have right here, I think it's New 52 John Stewart. He looks extremely like the season 11 John Stewart from Smallville, so I thought it was a really simple addition. And then I have this Spike from the Buffy the Vampire Slayer line. And I mean, that just looks fantastic in my opinion. Just look at that. Really, really does well with the face sculpt. All I need to do is change his hair to be brown and maybe give him a suit or something, I'm not sure. But anyway, he's going to be a fantastic Brainiac 5. We go back to the rest of here. We got the CW. Her glasses broke about 3 years ago, and I was able to glue it on, and then there was another accident. She fell, and then the lens popped, so I'm going to have to custom new set of glasses for her. And like I said, there are the Arrow suits, and then I've got the rest of the CW team. And I got the Legends of Tomorrow. I have him here, Diggle, because it is revealed that he could have been a Green Lantern. Things happen slightly differently in this universe. His mom's maiden name is Stewart. So just things happen slightly differently in this universe, and so Diggle, their John Stewart, he didn't become a Green Arrow, and a lot of that has to do with James Gunn, and that's the Doylean explanation. And then we have what happened in the show with the Watsonian explanation to justify the executive meddling. But in my heart, he'll always be a Green Lantern, and that's why he's right there in the CW Justice League, where all my Green Lanterns go. And we'll get to that in a second. And we do get to have a little more, and we get to start cutting into the Snyderverse, the DCEU, the extended universe. We are going to crop it right here. But yeah, so we have that. There's this empty space here. That's where Freddie Freeman is going to go. I need to get that 2-pack still. And I also am going to use the Wonder Woman that came out during that time, whose sculpt, especially the legs and whatnot, look like it was supposed to be the base for Mary Marvel. So I still have that. It's unopened, and I'm going to be opening that up in the future and customing her into a Mary Marvel figure. And so I'll have those three from the technically Snyderverse. Then we have their version of the JSA in the back. And then also in the back we have alternate timeline shenanigans. So we have the Superman from the Justice League up there, who in his return he had the blue suit, and next to him is his cousin from another timeline that we saw in the Flash movie. And up here up front we have the Snyder Cut version of the events, and then we also have some Nightmare characters up there. Well, just we have Mira from the Nightmareverse. Oh, actually, you're not supposed to be seeing that yet. Anyway, but we do have the Nightmare Batman. So let me go ahead and get closer. So this is the Beast Kingdom Nightmare Batman. I think he looks fantastic. I really love him. And then here's the Beast Kingdom BVS Batman. Is it a little too dark? Yeah, but I'm okay with it. It's not that big of a deal. And then we have the Figuarts Gal Gadot Wonder Woman up there. And so I did some angles and some manipulating of things to make the scales work. And I think it worked out just fine. And yeah, so there you have it. There is this portion of my live action Justice League display. Got that going on over there. And yeah. So now let's go into some of the updates. Before we go into the new details we haven't seen, there was actually some shifting happening. Like you saw in the beginning of this video, there were some things in the bottom, in the middle sections of these details that I said were probably going to get moved around, and oh, were they moved around. And how they were moved around caused a major shift, wherein some of the stuff that was, well, that stuff got moved around because of some shifts that were happening here. For instance, I had the Silver Age and Modern Age sharing one shelf, and they just got so big that I could not do that anymore. So they each have their own shelf now, which meant that the New 52 Rebirth and post-Dark Crisis universe displays all had to get shifted, meaning that what used to be down here is gone, and now we have the New 52 display. So you're seeing that a lot earlier than I thought you were going to. I'm really excited with this display and really love how it turned out. You see, I do have Super Dad here because he did start showing up technically in the Road to Rebirth, which is technically still the New 52. And but it was the last bit of it. It was the eroding of what Dr. Manhattan had made. And so the stuff that is new to this display that hadn't been here before are that I just recently opened up for this. You can see the Platinum Firestorm, we got the Captain Atom back there, got the Futures End Booster Gold. We have the Mr. Terrific, that's the New 52 incarnation. And then I put the McFarlane Collector's Edition Huntress here. And I gave her this mask because even though the suit is technically from her Earth 2 Helena Wayne counterpart, once they did a reboot, the soft reboot and Rebirth, and Helena Wayne went back to Earth 2, and Helena Bertinelli took over as Huntress in the mainline comics. She had a mask very similar to this, as you can see here. So she's my stand-in right now. So I have the original release of the Huntress from the old line that you can see here, and you'll see that in the future when we get to the multiversity portion of my detolfs. But yeah, so that version is over with the Earth 2 New 52 crew, and then this one is a stand-in for Helena Bertinelli. Further, I did a little bit of a shift here, well, not a shift, a change in the future timeline shelf. I added both versions of Lightning Lad, who are members of the Legionnaires, the Legion of Superheroes. And so they are there, and they're my first Legionnaires, so I hope that they're not my last. And yeah, I'm also going to add in the Legionnaire ring right there. But yeah, so I got this future shelf all decked out and ready to go. But now for the new stuff. All right, first of all, we got the Silver Age collection. So a lot of brand new stuff here that was not in my original display. I added in the McFarlane Animal Man. I added the small toy of the Atom that came with the toy that we are going to see in a future display. I went ahead and I added the Platinum Hawkman to this display because I feel like this works really well. The colors and whatnot, it pops better with the with what's going on here with the Silver Age. I don't remember how, but I had a second Silver Age Batman, and I was going to use it for trade fodder or whatnot. And I thought, hey, you know what? I don't want to move the one I have in my display right now out of it. So I'm just going to open up the second one and put it here in my Silver Age display. So really happy with that. Right here is Captain Thunder, who is an analog. There's some really good YouTube videos out there I recommend. Just look up Captain America, Captain Marvel, Shazam, history videos and whatnot. They'll go over the Fawcett comics and what happened. But suffice it to say, at one point they wanted to bring Captain Marvel, Shazam, at the time it was Captain Marvel, into the DC universe. And so they created their version of it that could kind of go around copyright, and it was Captain Thunder. And he was from another Earth, like 237 at the time or something like that. Here, I'll put it on the side here, what the actual Earth he was from. Let me know in the comments if I was right, how close I was, how good my memory is. But it was a wacky little one-off comic, testing the waters. And eventually they brought Captain Marvel proper in from the Fawcett Comics. I have this DC Classics Superman. And I mean, he's nice. I mean, honestly, he looks more like Superboy, in my opinion. And he's good enough for now. But with this Superman, that the pre-order just went up a day or so ago as of the recording of this video, that one is definitely going to go in this display. I also added, that is brand new to this display, this Wonder Woman. It is the Platinum Wonder Woman from Whatever Happened to Wonder Woman. So technically, it's supposed to be the from the 52, I believe it is, post-Final Crisis. That they were experimenting with a year without the Trinity and how the DC Universe would work without them. But I mean, with these classic colors, I thought she was a dead ringer for Silver Age Wonder Woman, and she goes well there. We have the digital Hal Jordan here. We have the digital Aquaman. And, you know, that's technically a digital Atom. And then I have some other toys that have been here for a while that I just mixed in. I know people hate mixing scales, but I don't know. I think this looks pretty good regardless of the scale. Oh, and Animal Man. I saw what year he debuted, and he pretty much looked the same. And I know in the 90s he had the leather jacket, and since this one doesn't have it, I figured this incarnation of Animal Man makes the most sense here in the Silver Age. So, but with all good things, they come to an end and they evolve into something else, and we now go into